Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a minute since I've had a video for you guys. It's been a hectic couple of weeks. I've got my oldest daughter went off to camp this last week. We started homeschool before that. We got a soft opening a week or so, a little bit to show them what their new school year is going to be like. And then we've had like family get-togethers, just all kinds of stuff. So I finally have a breather moment and I can record a video for you guys. If you are not familiar with me, hi, my name's Brooke. We are a family of 5. I've got 3 kids. They are 1, 8, almost 9, her birthday is very soon, and 13. We homeschool, so the 2 oldest are now homeschooled. We have a 9th grader and a 4th grader this year. If you want to see any of the homeschool stuff that I have recorded about curriculum and just the way we do things, then go back and check the channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. That helps me grow my channel. We're a new channel. So you can go back and look at all that homeschool stuff. I do have some budget type things and saving money type things because we are all about that. We are a 1-income family, so sometimes the money is tight. And that's what this video is about. I'm going to share with you some things that we have learned over 16 years of marriage and 13 years of having kids. Just some simple switches that is now just second nature for us. It's just things that we do that I realize now that I didn't know going into this life, of living on your own and adulting and making adult decisions. Just things that I didn't know that I want to help you with, that maybe you're not aware of yet. So just going to jump right in it real quick. I have more food related things, like grocery and food related things than anything else. So I'm going to start with those. The first switch that we did was eating at home versus eating out. More so now than ever, it is expensive to eat out. And especially if you have kids, it really adds up. We can go through a drive-through, just a simple drive-through, and if you order individual meals for 5 people, it's going to be almost $50. You can go through McDonald's and spend $50 for 5 people. Now, of course, we can do that for a lot less because of some of the things that we switch around. I didn't even mention that. So here's a bonus. This will be 16 things on this video. Here's a bonus. When you're going through drive-throughs or you're doing fast food or eating out, do not get everybody individual meals. Combine their food. Get, if you're going to get chicken nuggets for 3 kids, instead of getting 3 individual chicken nugget meals, get the 20-piece or the 40-piece. I think McDonald's had like a 50-piece that we used to get, or a 40-piece. It was like a special. I don't know that they do that right now. But combine your meals. Do the bulk items. Don't get individual meals, and that'll save you a lot of money. So let me get into it. Eating out versus eating at home. You definitely are going to save money if you fix your food at home. Your kids are not going to love that. You're not going to love that because it is so much easier and funner to eat out. But when you're on a budget and you've got to save some money, you need to learn to cook at home versus eating out all the time. It's going to save you money. And it's just second nature to us. Yes, we love to eat out. But we don't, we plan ahead if I can help it at all. If we're going to be out and about, I plan our trips so that we can eat as soon as we get home, or we have something quick to fix when we get home if we're going to be gone a big portion of the day, or we wait and leave right after a meal. Take snacks, skip an actual sit-down meal and just snack on something when we're on the road and then eat a meal when we get to wherever we're going. Things like that. Eat at home versus eating out. Save you a lot of money. Our drinking water. This is not, people can say, well, just drink the water out of the tap. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about if you buy bottled water, like bottled Gatorade, bottled Propel, any kind of flavored water. We don't do that. We have done that. We did that at first. My husband likes to drink Propel. But if you buy the 6-pack or 8-pack, whatever the Propel drinks come in, or the Gatorade, you buy that versus getting the powder packets, and you can buy Propel and Gatorade in the packets. I don't have one of those in front of me. I've got a different one. This is a flavored water that we use now. It doesn't have the electrolytes in it like Gatorade or Propel, but you can definitely get the powder packets like Propel or Gatorade. This is a True Lemon brand. I like this because it does not have the artificial colors in it that is hard on some of the people in my family's stomach. But one little packet for a regular sized bottle of water, and you got your flavored water. And I will even dilute these. Like you can take 4 to make a 2-quart jug, and I might use only 3 and dilute it for my kids. But definitely cheaper if you get the packet, or you can get like the big containers of the Gatorade. They come in the big containers and with a scoop. It's always cheaper than buying it already packaged and flavored for you. Something else that we learned was to buy block cheese versus the already shredded cheese in the bags. That was something that I never even thought about until after I was married for a couple of years, and I think my husband suggested getting the block cheese and shredding it ourselves. It's better. It tastes better. Honestly, if you've never tried block cheese and shredding it yourself, it tastes better, and it's cheaper. So that's just second nature for us when we're buying cheese, unless we just know that we're going to have a meal this, coming up that we are not going to want to shred cheese and we need it super fast. We'll grab a bag of shredded cheese. But any other time, just if cheese is on the grocery list, it's a block cheese. We always buy block cheese and shred it ourselves. Something that we've been doing more recently now, we don't do a lot of pizza. I love pizza, but we've tried to cut back on the pizza here lately. But when we do pizza, my husband has been making his own dough, and it is so much cheaper than buying even the refrigerated dough, or like the packaged already put together pizza dough that you can buy in the big packaging. It's so much cheaper. So that's something that my husband's been doing. If we know we're going to want pizza coming up, he'll go ahead and make the dough and have it sitting in the refrigerator to set for a couple of days before it's time to make the pizza. We just make sure that if we know we're going to be doing the homemade dough, that's something that we're going to spend some time on. That's not a super quick meal. If we need a quick pizza meal, we'll opt for like a frozen pizza that's on sale or something. Sometimes we do that. But homemade pizza dough versus store-bought dough, so much cheaper, and it's good. My husband makes really good dough. Next thing that I have been doing for a long time is muffin mix packs. This right here, this Martha White brand, we can get it at our local grocery store, and we get it at Walmart. I mean, it's everywhere. $1 a pack. I think at Walmart it might be less than $1. It makes 24 mini muffins. It makes 6 regular size muffins, and that's what the directions tell you to do, is to make 6 regular size muffins. But I make the mini muffins. You know the boxes that you can buy of mini muffins? It comes in the little pouches, and now I think they come 4 to a pouch. I'm pretty sure when I was a kid there was 5 in there. I may be wrong, but now there's 4 muffins in those little packs. If you compare the price per muffin of using this, it's this and a half a cup of milk, and you get 24 mini muffins. That's about 5 cents per muffin. Versus buying the boxes, I can't remember, Hostess and other, I don't know what all the brands are that do the little mini muffins. They come out, I looked at the Great Value brand. On the Walmart website, you can buy a big box, like a bulk box of the mini muffins, and it still, with the Great Value Walmart brand, came out to 15 cents per muffin. So 3 times more expensive to buy the packaged muffins, if not more if you get the different name brand, versus doing this way. And this is how we've been doing this for a long time. All right, number 6 on our list is to make your own birthday cakes. And then bonus tip is that you don't have to have a birthday party every year for every kid. So number 6 on the list is to make your own birthday cakes. I learned this when I think my oldest daughter, I think I made her 5th birthday cake. I want to say 5th. It may have been 6th or 7th before I figured out to do it myself. Before that, it was like I had to buy it from a store, or I had to buy it from some specialty baker that made cutesy birthday cakes. But I figured out after a while that it wasn't worth the money to buy a cake that, yeah, it's pretty, it looks nice, but we're just gonna eat it. And I would rather it taste good and look a little funny than to look really pretty and be nasty and nobody wants to eat it. And a lot of times when I go to birthday parties and they have the fancy, pretty cakes, they don't taste that good. So I would rather make my own cake, and it costs like 10 times less than getting somebody else to make it, than having somebody make a cake. So making your own birthday cakes versus buying the birthday cakes, even at the grocery store. I think the last time I got a quarter sheet birthday cake, it was like $25, $25 at my local grocery store for just regular birthday cake size rectangle cake, quarter sheet. And I can make it myself for 1 box of cake mix and we'll go 2 containers of icing, and then you get the specialty stuff. Get whatever colored sprinkles, or you can even buy little characters off of online or somewhere at a craft store. Doesn't necessarily have to be like edible stuff. You can get toys. I've gotten that before. I've bought little toys. We did a Shopkins. If y'all don't know what that is, look it up. If you've got little girls, you probably know what they are. I did a Shopkin cake one time. It was just a plain colored cake. I did some icing outline in a different color, some sprinkles, and then I bought my oldest a bunch of Shopkins, and they're little teeny tiny figures, and I put them all over the cake, and that was her Shopkin cake. So it was her birthday present on the cake. The cake only costs like $3-4 because you can get cake mixes for $1. If the icing's on sale, you can get those for $1, $1.50, maybe up to $2 now, depending on which brand you're getting. But a birthday cake for $5 or less versus $25 for the cheapest bakery bought cake. So it's always cheaper to make your own. It doesn't have to be super pretty. As long as it tastes good, everybody's gonna be happy. If you're worried about making your own cakes, just experiment with it. I bought different cake molds. I've got a set of round cake molds, and then I've got different size of the square and rectangle. Just experiment with it. Look at your local craft store, like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that, and just look at the cake decorating section and see what all they have, and maybe it'll help you come up with ideas. Just don't be afraid to try it. Some people, I say that too, that way I make my own cakes and they're like, oh no, but you can do it. You can totally do it. Just try it, experiment with it, and see how it works out for you. I think that's all of my food stuff. I gave you 6 plus 2 bonuses. We're gonna move on to the next set. I'll probably come up with some more bonus ideas as I'm going through this that I didn't think of when I was writing this down. But my next one is 7, is to cancel your cable or satellite or whatever contract TV services you have. We got rid of that a long time ago. We thought when we first got married, which the streaming stuff wasn't that big of a thing when we were first married. We've been married for 16 years. But once it started being more of a thing that you could get, the Netflix and Paramount and Amazon Prime and all that kind of stuff, we didn't have a contract cable satellite TV, nothing like that. We haven't in years. I'd have to go back and figure up or look at it to see when the last time we had any kind of TV service like that was. We use streaming for everything, and it's a lot cheaper. What we do is rotate our streaming services, or we might borrow some streaming services. But anyway, we rotate. We might pay for Netflix, and we always have Amazon Prime, because that's just, if you've watched any of my videos about saving money or products or anything, you know that we are Amazon Prime members, and I love my Amazon Prime. So we have the Prime Video, so we always have that. We'll rotate, have Netflix one month. Well, actually, we don't have Netflix anymore. We quit using that. So we'll have, I think we've used Paramount, HBO, maybe Max or Max something. We'll look for what shows are on, or on the upcoming months, if it's something that we really want to see, and we'll do the subscription for that month and cancel the other one. So all different kinds of streaming services. If you're into the sports stuff, then there's sports streaming services. Rotate it. If you got a season coming up that you're wanting to watch on a certain show that's on a certain streaming service, subscribe to it for that month. Once you're done watching it, end that subscription and start another one. You can just rotate them. That's how we do it. We rotate streaming services versus having a cable or satellite year-round thing. We done away with that a long time ago. Number 8 is our laundry detergent. These are going to be totally random. I was doing food ones before, but these are just totally kind of random. Number 8 is I use either powder or liquid laundry detergent versus the pods. I do have the pods for my dishwasher because it just seems to be so much easier for me. And when I did use the pods when my kids were first learning how to do the laundry and the dishwasher, helping me load that and do that, I didn't want them to mess with trying to do powder or liquid and measuring stuff out until they were really able to do that. So the pods were easy for that if you've got, training kids to help you with laundry or whatever. But it's so much cheaper to use liquid or powder versus getting the pods. The pods are convenient, and you always pay extra for convenience. So that's something with laundry that I used to buy the pods because I was just like, I don't know, I just bought them because I thought that's what you were supposed to use. But no, we don't do that. I switched to the powder or the liquid, and we've been doing the liquid for a long time. So definitely look at the price. It's more expensive to do the pods than the liquid or the powder. When I'm shopping, speaking of that, one thing being more expensive than the other, when I'm shopping, and I've even got my husband doing this, it's second nature for him now too, that you look at the unit price versus the product price. You see, one thing's sitting on the shelf and another brand's sitting over here. Well, this one's $2.50 and this one is $3.50, so let me get the $2.50. But if you look at the unit price, that one might be a couple of cents more or less than the other that you didn't expect because the price was higher or lower. It doesn't make sense. But it's because of the packaging. Everybody packages their stuff different, so you have to look at the unit price. It's like, in the long term, it's going to be cheaper to get the one with the lower unit price, and it might be price per pound, per piece, per ounce, per whatever. Look at the unit price. Always get the lower unit price, and it will surprise you. Here lately, it used to be anything that was in a bigger box was going to be cheaper than the smaller box. Buying in bulk. That used to be the big thing. Buy in bulk. It's always cheaper to buy in bulk. But it is not always cheaper right now. You have to really look at the unit price. It depends on where the product's being shipped from, just the name brand. So many different things affect the price now that you really have to look at that unit price. So let's see how many times I can say the word unit price. You're going to remember that now when you go shopping. Unit price. I have a budget. When we were first married, I kind of had a budget, but I don't know. I guess just as it's kind of evolved into different income streams, and just our bills are different now than they were 16 years ago. I had to really sit down and figure out a budget that worked for us. So before, we would just kind of spend stuff, and I knew how to pay my bills, but I didn't know how to reconcile how much was coming in versus how much was going out. Like, I made sure the bills got paid, but we would end up with not enough money at the end of the week, or I wasn't saving enough money to put into savings. Like, I wasn't budgeting the right way, if that makes sense. I wasn't budgeting to know what was coming in versus what was going out. I was only budgeting the going out part. So it's definitely second nature for me. Every week I do our budget. I figure out what's coming in this week, or what came in the past week. But what I do, I look at what came in that week versus what needs to be paid the following week. And then I separate it all into different sinking funds. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. There's all kind of budget videos. So we got sinking funds, and I pay the bills, and I know what's left over. And that's just second nature for me now. You have to have a budget, and you have to make yourself do it. It's like having a habit that you have to do over and over and over to make it a habit. So if it's not a habit for you to have a budget and know how much money is coming in versus how much money is going out and where it's going, you need to make that second nature for you. You have to have a budget if you want to get anywhere with your finances. Along the lines of the budget, I set up our bills on automated payment. It either comes out of our bank account automatically, or I have the bank send it automatically, if that makes sense. Like our homeowner's insurance, our car insurance, it is through our insurance company, and they automatic draft it from our bank. And then other things I have, like our power bill, let's see what else, our some health insurance. I've got our internet bill. I'm trying to think what else. I've got other ones that I have set up with the bank, and the bank will send them out. I pay our credit card off through the bank, so automatically send that payment, or no, I set that up weekly. It's a different amount, whatever we're going to pay off for the week or the month. So I send that off through the bank, but I do have automated set bi-weekly and monthly. Our trash service is set up quarterly. I have it automatically to come out every quarter so that I don't forget. And some of the bills that you have that are monthly, like say, I don't know, I'm just throwing random numbers out there. Let's say you have a power bill that's $200 a month. You don't want to wait until that, and it may work for you, but I think it would work better for most people to not get that bill that says, here's this power bill, you owe $200 next week. For me, the way I do it, and I think the way it would help a lot of people, is to break that down. $200 a month, and how I figure it in my head, and I'm not going to do the math totally right here, but you do $200 a month. If that's your average, sometimes it might be, 250, sometimes it might be 175 or 150. Say $200 is your average. You need to figure out what your average is. $200 times 12 months, and then divide that by 52 weeks. And that will tell you how much you should put back every week for your power bill. So $200, that's going to come out to about $50 a week that you should put back to pay your power bill. So you put $50 back on week 1, $50 back on week 2, week 3, week 4. You've got $200 saved, and then when your bill comes, you have $200 sitting there in your bank or at home in cash, envelopes, however you want to do it. You have $200 sitting there that when the bill comes, you say, okay, there, I saved it. I don't have to pull it out of my money this week of what I'm getting paid. I already had it right here. It's there, and I send it. And it's pretty well done for you. You have to figure what those bills are going to be weekly or bi-weekly, however that works better for you. I have bumped some of mine up to bi-weekly. But if you get paid, and this is saying that you get paid weekly. If you don't get paid weekly or bi-weekly, then you need to figure out what works for you. But I've set my stuff up automated to pay some bills every week or every other week, and it automatically comes out. The power company is not going to tell you you can't pay a bill every week. As long as they're getting paid, they don't care. So I have my power bill coming out every other week. I figured out what my average is of my power bill for the whole year, and every other week I have a certain amount of money that gets sent from my bank to my power bill. And it doesn't matter what my bill is that month. You definitely need to look at your bills if you're doing this to make sure that you're not underpaying or way overpaying or whatever. But I'll look at my power bill when it comes, and it'll say, you've got a credit of $42 this month. Or your bill is coming up and you owe $12.50. But I know that next week I've got $50 going out of my bank to the power bill, and it's going to cover it. And that's usually how it works. I might have a little bit of a credit, or I might have a little bit of that I still owe, but I know that it's going to come out the next week and it's going to be paid before the bill's due, because I do that average. So automate your payments so that you don't forget, and also so that it's not a shock when the bill comes and it's several $100s and it might take half your paycheck that week. Go ahead and set it up automated to come out of your budget every week, and then so that it can be sent, or you can go ahead and mail that money every week or every other week. If the power company, like I said, if they get 4 checks a week from you, or 4 payments a week, automated draft or credit card payment or however you want to do it, if they get 4 payments a month from you, they're not going to say, hey, you're paying me too much. Just go ahead and pay it. However is easier for you, go ahead and pay it. And if your bank doesn't charge you per transaction, what does it matter if you send out 100 checks this month? As long as they're not charging you extra, then go ahead and pay it however it works for you to get it under control. So automated payments versus paying the bill when it comes, definitely go with automated payments. Okay, that was a lot of budget stuff. I'm kind of a budget nerd, so I have a lot of that kind of stuff to talk about. So let's move on to something else. Something else that we do that's just second nature for me now is to cut our hair at home. My husband has had 0 haircuts by anybody other than me since we've been married. I was going to say 1, but no. He got his haircut by somebody the day before we got married. He got, a nice buzz and face shave and all that kind of stuff. But from that day on, I have cut his hair for 16 years. And I now do that with my girls. At first, I was scared with my girls to cut their hair myself. But I've learned over the years that if it's just, they've got really long hair. If you're styling short hair, then, unless you're a hairstylist, I wouldn't suggest that. Or if you're really confident in yourself, then maybe go for it. But my girls have long hair. I have semi-long hair. And just a straight cut across the bottom or a little bit layered or tiered or whatever. I have, YouTubed and I have figured that out. I do have a video where I cut my girl's hair that you can go back and find. Just simple straight cuts on long hair. I do that myself. And I even cut my son's hair for the first time. He's 18 months old. I used a mixture of our, the buzzer shaver thing and the scissors. And I think it turned out pretty good. I started to record that, but I was scared I was going to mess it up, and he was just not into it. I ended up having to do it in 2 parts. Like, I got most of it on a Saturday night, and then the next morning, on Sunday morning, I had to get the rest of it on top when he was a little less aggravated with me, because he was not cool with it after a few minutes. He was done with me. But yes, cutting hair at home versus going to a salon and paying, what is it to get simple haircut? A shampoo and a haircut and a blow dry, like $40, $50. The last time I looked, it was crazy. And I don't want to do that for me and 2 girls, spend $100, $150 to get our hair trimmed. Even if it's a cheap cut, $15. I think our local, there's a barber that's local to us. I think he went up to $20. My husband getting his hair cut for $20 versus me buzzing it really quick. No, thank you. I'll go ahead and do it myself. My girls, if we go to a salon and it's, even if it's just $15 for a dry cut, that's $45 for, all 3 of us to get our hair cut in the outdoor, $40. I can save the $45, and I bought some scissors off of Amazon that I use that are really nice, and I'll do it myself. So, home haircut versus salon haircut. If you can do it, you feel confident, go ahead and try it. We do it, and it works out great, and it's a lot cheaper. I think we're on number 13 now. That is to buy used versus buying new. When I was first married and I was shopping for myself and my husband and then even my kids, it wasn't even in my brain to always look at consignment or Goodwill or something like that. And now it pretty much is. Like, if I'm, depending on the product, there are some things that you do not want to buy used. You do not want to buy secondhand or hand-me-down, just, there's certain things. But for a lot of things, especially for kids, going to a consignment store, Goodwill, something like that, there's, let's see, ThreadUp. I'll put a link to my ThreadUp account in the description box. You can get name brand stuff on that online consignment store for a lot cheaper. So it is always in the back of my brain when I'm looking for something to buy to see if I can get it used at a consignment store, Goodwill, something like that. It's just, like I say, it's second nature now not to run to a store and buy it brand new like it used to be for me when I was first married and first had kids. Like, if I needed something, I needed to go online and I needed to buy it from whatever website. I needed to go to Walmart. I needed to go to, Kohl's or JCPenney or Belk or whatever. And now that is not the first thing that comes to mind. I'm thinking, where could I buy a good used of whatever it is? So it's something that is now second nature, is to buy used versus buying new, depending on the product. So like I say, some things you need new. Number 14 is along the same lines, but it's to accept hand-me-downs. I don't know, it's like when somebody says, hey, I've got such and such, would you like it? I think I don't know what it is, but it's like when the first few years, it was like, nah, that's okay. It was like, I didn't want to accept somebody else's stuff. It was like, I wanted to be like, no, I can get my own stuff. I can buy that myself. But now it's like, it's not a bad thing to me now to accept something that somebody has that they want to give you. You take it. Now it's just like, oh, this is something you bought and you took care of and you want to give it to me now and I don't have to pay for it. that's great for me now. I don't know what that was about when we were first married and buying things for our household, and it was just like, buying something that somebody else had was like, no, thank you. We're good. We've got it. Versus now it's like, yes, thank you, please. I guess it's the lack of money, the years of being on such a tight budget that it's like, yes, I will take it. I will take it, please. So always be open to take hand-me-downs. I'm trying to think of some things there are so many things in my house that are hand-me-down. The table that my tripod is sitting on right now is the dining room table that my parents had in the house that I grew up in. This table, it's got a leaf in the middle. I'm not going to turn this around and try to show you because I'll probably end up knocking my camera down. But it's just a wooden kitchen table. It's got the leaf in the middle that comes out, so you can make it a 4-chair table, or you can make it a 6-chair table. I've still got the 6 chairs that came with it. And this set, I am now 36 years old, and I'm pretty sure this dining room set, is older than me. Because I'm pretty sure it was in the house before I was born, or it was, I don't know if they bought it new, but anyway, it's around 36 years old. And this has been our kitchen table since we got married. My mom gave this to us, a little after we got married. She bumped up her table from the 6-person table to, I think, a 12-person table. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, no, 10. She's got a 10-person table because our family's pretty big. So she bumped up and expanded her table size and give me this table. What else? We've got our living room furniture. That's kind of a thing in our family. Like, somebody buys new living room furniture and theirs is not totally broke down. They're like, hey, does anybody want this? So I've got my sister's couple of pieces of a couch sectional thing down there in my living room. I'm trying to think anything else. Oh, I can't think of anything right now. Oh, a computer desk that I'm looking at across the room from me. This computer desk, not so much like a hand-me-down from somebody else, but we got this off the side of the road. It's like a letter writing desk. I'll show it to you one day, but it's got a flat surface, and it's got like the little cubbies for like pens and papers and things, and then it's got an elevated shelf up at the top. And we've had that for our computer desk for like 12, 13 years now. Somebody in the town that my mom lives in had it sitting at the end of their driveway, and I stopped and was like, I have to have this. So this has been a good computer desk, and I guess that's like a hand-me-down. I knew who the people were that were getting rid of it, so it wasn't like complete strangers, trash off the street. But yeah, that's a hand-me-down. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we have in the house that's hand-me-down stuff. If I think hard enough, I'll think of something. I can't think of anything right now. But yeah, definitely accept hand-me-downs. And then number 15, kind of along those same lines, whether you get it brand new, you get it hand-me-down, consignment, whatever, take care of your stuff. It used to be like, especially with the kids, it's like, oh, whatever, if they're destroying something or they're being too rough with something, we'll get another one. No, make your kids take care of their things. We have like this piece of furniture is 36 years old, if not older. That I was just talking about, the kitchen table and chairs, and it's got some wear and tear. If I had let my kids run all over this table, stand on it, be rough with it, banging their toys on it, and just being crazy, then it probably would not even be lasting as long as it is now. I've got pieces of furniture that the kids have been rough on and things that have broken, and so, I know it happens, but you really need to teach your kids to take care of their stuff. And you yourself need to not have it in the back of your mind that we'll just get another one if this one breaks. And that can be for anything, from a $5 product to a $500 or $5,000 product. It's like taking care of your AC unit. If you got an HVAC system, change your furnace filters. Take care of it. Do the maintenance. Be easy on your clothing. Don't have your kids have play clothes versus their nice clothes. Don't let them ruin all their nice clothes, because then you got to buy more nice clothes. They can ruin their play clothes. Teach them the difference between play clothes and nice clothes. Teach them how to not jump on the bed. Teach yourself how to not throw your stuff around when you're not using it. Don't throw your DVDs and movies up on the counter. It's all different kinds of stuff. Take care of your clothes when you're washing them. If you're in a hurry and you're throwing stuff in the washer dryer or whatever, take a little extra time, take care of those clothes, make them last. Even if you're in a hurry and you're stressed out and you're just trying to get it done, take care of your stuff, make it last longer, and it will save you a lot of money in the long run. All right, that was it. That was 15 things and a couple of bonus things of ways that we save money now, some do's versus don'ts that we have learned how to do over the last 16 years. If you have anything to add to this that you have learned in your years of marriage or adulting or parenting, whatever, put it in the comments below, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.